Hello, Bassoon friends. My name is Elizabeth Crawford, and I'm the Bassoon professor at Brigham Young University in Idaho. I noticed recently that the question of Légère reeds has come up once again on the Bassoonists United Facebook page. And after reading through all the comments, half of them very disparaging of the reed, and half of them really just wondering about this mysterious reed, I thought, you know what? For once and for all, we need to put this to rest. People need to hear this reed next to a cane reed. So I have written some reviews on the Légère reed. It's on my blog, bassoonwithaview.blogspot.com. And it does include an episode of a PBS show that I filmed entirely using a Légère reed. And I think it's a great example of really the incredible potential of this reed with regard to just range and color and dynamics. Now, I will say that Légère reeds have a period of breaking in that's necessary to get the best sound and just experience from them. So today I've pulled out my Légère reeds. I have not touched these reeds in a year. I don't play on them full time. I did play on a Légère reed full time for one season in 2014-15, and it was a great experience, and I'm glad that I did it. Légère's manufacturing process is very dynamic, and they are fairly consistently making changes to the process. So the reeds that I purchased in 2014-15 are not the same reeds that they're selling now. I will say I haven't purchased a Légère reed in about a year. At that time, the reed that they were manufacturing had open sides up to the tip, and they were really not good. Their customer service is very good, though. I sent that reed back to them, and they sent me another reed that did have the sides sealed to the tip, and those ones are quite good. But I will say that my source for these reeds has been Justin Miller, Miller Marketing, and he stopped selling them for a period because he felt like they were very, very inconsistent. He said, I'm not going to stock them until they've worked their way through this process again. So I'm just going to play full range on the bassoon and some little excerpts. I have not been practicing excerpts all week. It's Monday or in my office all day. So don't criticize the excerpts, but I do just want to give you a sense of like what these reeds sound like compared to a cane reed. So here's my cane reed. High F, kind of ish there. So feel free to turn on a tuner. You'll see the limitations of my own cane reed. Again, I haven't pulled out the greatest reed I've ever made today. I just really want to give people a quick side-by-side glance of these reeds. So let me play an excerpt a little bit higher. Very sharp in pitch, forgive me. And then a little bit higher still. That was a disaster, but you get a sense. Okay. So this is my oldest Légère reed. I played on this one. I made minor adjustments to it. You can, again, see my video that I made for some friends who ordered Légère reeds on how to make adjustments. Just search YouTube, Bassoon, Légère reed adjustment, and you'll find the one that I made. And if you're thinking, why would I want to adjust the Légère reed? I'll just keep playing cane reeds. Well, the adjustments are super fast and very simple. It's not like working on a cane reed. Okay, so please keep in mind there's also kind of a breaking in period for these reeds, and I have not touched these reeds in a year. So if they're kind of wobbly, that's kind of what you're hearing. I'm going to turn the reed over. Similar to a cane reed, there is a top and a bottom to this reed that develops, probably based just on your embouchure over time. And so you do want to be consistent with that. And okay, then here's my next Légère reed. This basically is how it comes out of the box. I think I played on this a little bit and maybe made an adjustment once or twice, but never really broke it in. So here's what it sounds like. In general, I always felt like the aperture seemed a little small when they come out of the box, and so what I end up doing is kind of opening up that aperture. But then it does make the reed a little resistant. Of course, that resistance goes away as you play on it for a while, and it kind of, reduces that aperture again. But I find that like the tube feels like it needs to be open, similar to a cane reed in that sense. You can actually get a decent decay on this. That's not perfect, but again, I'm kind of pushing the reed to the outside spectrum of capability, and this reed was never broken in, so. And I think too, when they're brand new, they kind of have that slightly more synthetic sound. They don't really sound exactly like a cane reed until they're broken in, and then they do open up nicely. And this is one never broken in, never adjusted. So this is really what it sounds like when it comes out of the box. It's really sharp, not really responsive. It's kind of rough sounding. So is this the best reed I've ever played on? No. Would I want to just give up because I've spent $100 and whatever, $25, $30 on this? No, it is worth kind of breaking these reeds in and making the little minor adjustments that you can. I think the most important thing I want to say about these reeds is that they create a wonderful opportunity for many bassoonists who don't have the time or the knowledge or the resources to be making reeds, but perhaps they want to keep playing into their adult life as hobbyists or amateurs or maybe even slightly pro-am. I know that there are doublers who are using these and are quite fond of them in a pit orchestra setting. I think the most important thing is that as this dialogue happens on IDRS or Bassoonists United, that we are careful in not saying this is the worst thing that's ever been created, don't touch these, real bassoonists would never play a Légère. I just think that's untrue. I think that if you can find a reed that is easy for you to play and allows you to play to the best of your ability, wherever it came from, whoever made it, whatever it's made from, however much it cost, If it's allowing you to play this beautiful instrument and you're happy doing it, then go for it. It shouldn't matter. For those who want to try the Légère reed, I think it's wonderful. I think spending that $130 is absolutely worth it. I will say, for traveling musicians, there is something really comforting about just leaving these in my case all the time and knowing that if worst case scenario I forgot my reed case, which I have done once in my career, I have these reeds that I know can play. And like, you know, they're maybe not all sounding awesome today, but I know if I were to spend the next, you know, the rest of the week kind of adjusting these and playing on these, I know that I'd actually probably be pretty satisfied with them in general. Are they the reed to go and play super soft excerpts or super high excerpts? Maybe. Not at this moment for me, clearly. But the point is, there is a great potential for these Légère reeds, and I hope that when the conversation approaches again, we can all just listen and compare side by side. And then you can ask yourself, well, what do I need this reed for? What am I doing with bassoon? Does this fit my needs? Maybe it does. So thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful.